Yo, what's up? I'm John, back with another video. We're gonna be reacting to top 10 strongest JoJo stands, JoJo Bizarre Adventure stands, the anime. Uh, I tried uploading the video earlier, but it got blocked. So we ain't even gonna talk about that. But let's get this started.
There are a lot of stands in JoJo, and along with that, there's multiple types of stands with uses that could be either phenomenal,
Love
confusing, or ridiculously unfortunate. This isn't about that. This is about the strongest stand, and that doesn't focus on just the stand stats alone. This is also mainly based around the abilities. There's reasoning that also goes into this. I'm going to tell you right off the bat that some of this might be odd, but I'll be sure to explain it in the best way that I can. So let's get into this. Now for number 10 we have Weather Report and Heavy Weather. I mean both forms of the stand, not the user in the stand.
I guess it's pretty OP too.
Weather Report is
It's
a
like
stand that controls the weather, but it does it to a ridiculous extent. This is the stand that uses atmospheric layers to deflect attacks, can destroy the ozone layer single-handedly, drown people with water that he creates, and make it rain poison dart frogs. Now, the last feat works either one of these two ways. Either he uses wind to pull the frogs from Central America to Florida, and the speed to do that, and the control too would just be ridiculous, because how you just selectively choose what animals you want to bring. Or Weather Report can make it rain whatever he wants. In both cases, those are ridiculously strong. Then you have Heavy Weather, which is the full potential of the stand. It has the ability to turn people into snails through subliminal messaging, which means that blind people aren't affected. And for the most part, this ability, oh my goodness, altogether it's a bizarre adventure. I can easily tell you that. Number 9, Sea Moon. This stand makes the user the center of reverse gravity. And along with that, the stand can change the gravitational force on an object by using its fists. To put this into perspective on how strong gravity is, or well, how strong the reverse gravity is, here's a few things. He can make multiple cars, buses, objects, everything just fall horizontally because how the gravity shifts over. The gravity can keep people and objects away from him, but if he's caught off guard, he can still invert his body to avoid hits. I mean, I don't understand that because bone structure and all, that shouldn't be possible. But aside from that, one direct punch to the chest from Sea Moon can invert the heart of whomever he punches, and that's a confirmed kill unless you have something that modifies the body. For example, Jolene had turned her chest into the Mobius strip to redirect the gravity. Number 8, Star Platinum and the World. Or
it sounds OP.
I guess Star Platinum, the World, and the World. I'd be surprised if people didn't know about Star Platinum. There's point blank, bullet catching speed, punches through giant teeth that were as tough as diamonds,
I would guess Jotaro's
super brain doctor precision, and he can stop time. In my opinion, the strongest ability that he has is his eyesight, because I can't draw at all and Jotaro just cheats by using a stand. It's bull. The World does the same thing, and Time Stop is an ability that can be trained. It's also made stronger if the person has something like an ability that can be never exhausted, like vampires, since those guys are just everlasting. Number 7, the Hand. Now, this is one of the many cases of a stand being underused. The Hand is a ridiculously strong stand that's held back by the user. The ability of the stand is to remove. Anything that the hand swipes away is gone, but then there's when he swipes away space itself. When space is swiped away, it's stitched back together.
It's a slow stand, but
it's only really used to swipe away mostly space and honestly everything that's not a living being. Sometimes it's inconsistent and sometimes it's not. But
I mean, I wouldn't say it's OP.
It's used to scrape away non-living things. Imagine being able to scrape away people. First, it would make fights ridiculously easy. And second, even if there was a mess when scraping one, you could just scrape away the mess. I'm not exactly sure how scraping people would work. If it stitches people back together, that would just make them a Frankenstein monster. It's terrifying. I believe that the hand would get more use from people like Kira, Jotaro, and Kakyoin, honestly. Now, for number 6.5. I know this isn't how things are supposed to go. I had to make this one exception. I'm sorry. But Cream, the stand of Vanilla Ice. This is an amazing stand, but there's one problem. The stand can turn into a ball of void, or well, the stand turns into an invulnerable and undetectable ball that doesn't exist in our dimension, and it just disintegrates everything it comes in contact with in the dimension that we are at the moment, but it doesn't exist at the same time. It's an odd complexity thing. But if you didn't understand what I said, it's a ball of nothing that can remove anything. You can't see it and you can't smell it either. The only problem with this, the single problem with this, you can't see when you're in the stand, so you have to take a peek, like, here and there. If it wasn't for that one thing, I would have just put the stand straight up in the top 5. Number
That's
6,
the Grim also,
King
I'm pretty
Crimson.
sure right there.
This stand's actual strength alone is amazing. Along with that, you have its speed,
King
but then you
Crimson's
tone
so
it down due to its
broken.
range and durability. After that, you
What did
add
you say
on its
this was?
epitaph. This
I don't
ability
remember.
lets you see
King Crimson's so
10
broken.
seconds into the future. Oh yeah, and he can also up to 10 seconds. So essentially, what you do in that can be removed by King Crimson. So it's an odd ability, but it's very useful.
What?
Number 5,
10 seconds
Heaven's
in the
Door. Now this is where I have to explain two things in specific.
Rohan's
First,
stand is
the
so
numbering
just
here
broken.
isn't something where it's like one stand is meant
And
to be
it's
ahead of others
fast,
because
too.
it beats others. Second, this is going around the term strongest in a general term and not just in JoJo.
I mean, actually, I
Saying
don't
that
think it's
alone, I'm
fast.
pretty sure you can understand my reasoning on
it's
why
so
I would have
broken.
Heaven's Door here. Now for the
can
ability,
erase
Heaven's Door
memories,
can essentially make
everything,
any
bro.
living being into
And
a
you can
book. You
replace
contain all your
memories,
memories, characteristics, and
memories.
generally all details on you. He incapacitates
Yep.
whoever he's using this on. Now, when using this in a fight, he can write commands into whoever he's using this on. These commands can be undone by whoever this is done to, and the commands are busted.
Basically, like, read their
For
thoughts, too.
example, I cannot attack the user, which means that whoever the user wrote that on cannot attack the user. This also isn't something where mental resistance matters. Whatever is written becomes what they're going
If you
to
haven't
do
seen the anime
or
on
did.
Netflix,
So
Rono
basically,
and
the stand
Kenshin,
can
bro,
make you end yourself,
it's so
and you
fire.
can't really do anything about it. The stand also doesn't believe in science because you can just write that this person will fly back at 70 miles per hour at like the exact same numbers, and they will do it even though nothing pushes them. They just will happen to fly, and that's just, yeah, you can write in anything, dude. Good, straight up. If somehow you just write down, hey man, I'm gonna make like 5 pizzas, even though you have no idea how to make pizza, yeah, you're just gonna make the pizza, man, because screw it, that's how that works. Number 4, Tusk Act 4. So there's this phenomenon known as spin, but I'm not exactly sure how to give an easier explanation on it, so I won't. It's gravity. It involves a lot of gravity. This stand touches someone and their body starts to turn into pasta at a cellular level, and you can't escape it either. I mean, you really can't escape it at all. You can't jump dimensions away from it. You can't switch bodies away from it, and it's pretty much bound to you unless it's undone by Tusk. Along with that, the stand can open dimensional walls that are made to be invincible. Since these walls specifically, they were meant to redirect all misfortune, but spin, invincibility, all that, we'll talk about that soon. Number 3, Made in Heaven. So from what we're supposed to assume, this stand works to manipulate gravity in a way where it makes logical sense, but it's JoJo, so don't hold your breath. Made in Heaven accelerates time, but it only affects non-living things. Along with that, the stand gives itself and the user infinite speed. Now, speed isn't something that you can just describe to be infinite, but we can make some strong assumptions with it. If not cocky, you would be able to see the stand in all of its glory, but because of the user, Enrico Pucci, we only get so much information. He speed blitzes everyone and everything, and with how fast he goes, him forming his hand as a chop, or paper, if you want to see it as that, makes it more lethal than any blade ever made. Side note, thrown knives move too fast, bullets from guns are made even faster, your soda is made flat even faster. This stand, it's a true menace. Number 2, D4C Love Train. Now, if you already know JoJo, regular D4C would be around at 4.5, but we're not focusing on that. Love Train, the pocket dimension of invincibility. So there's this wall of light with this ability. Any misfortune, including attacks, are redirected anywhere else, meaning that the stand user and the stand are invincible when in the pocket dimension. There's a lot to meet the requirements of Love Train, but when it's effective, then it's effective. Another thing is that any damage taken from D4C is made to be lethal since it moves towards your heart, and if you don't have some sort of gravitational phenomena that can somehow just move your wound to inanimate objects, then you're out of luck. The good thing is that to inflict any damage on you, D4C must be outside of the dimension and be vulnerable. And even then, it's still D4C. Now it's time for some honorable mentions. Mandem. Rewinding time to your benefit, it's a good ability. Soft and Wet. The ability of plundering, which is honestly one of my favorites, but I'll wait for Jojolian to finish before I have any final words on it. But I see this taking a spot above the hand, honestly. Diver Down, amazing name and ability. I think that its phasing and manipulation ability along with the power storing ability makes the stand around top 15 or top 13 strongest stands. Blue Hawaii, I'm not really exactly sure on the placement due to me being iffy on how hacks this ability really
Freak is
is. But
that,
the whole
bro?
linear direction thing is a problem. This ability is essentially an infectious mind control ability. Now, for the last one, the last mention, Killer Queen, with the ability to turn everything into a bomb. I'm not mentioning because of Bites the Dust. It's a cool name and arc, but the ability is terrible in a fighting setting. I'm mentioning Killer Queen due to sheer heart attack for the most part. With stand user versus non-stand user scenarios, sheer heart attack can be a saving grace alone. Number 1, gold, experience, Requiem.
Requiem, stop playing, boy.
Imagine you do something right, except you don't. You didn't do it. You never did do it, and you also will never do it. The stand is the hacks of all hacks, and there isn't any
Jorno, my God, you got to love reality.
Now, about the strength of GER. I'm not sure, since stats don't even exist anymore for the stand. If you're hit by GER, you will still return to 0, but now you will still die, but you also don't die. You experience endless death loops, and I'm not sure what you can even really do, really. If you go for a move, you didn't do it, and you end up in a standstill position waiting to do something, but by the time you realize what had happened, it's already over.
OP, my nigga, stop playing with that boy.
You didn't do anything, dude.
Whoop any anime character, boy, stop playing. Goku, he don't solo. Goku don't solo, boy.
Now, I'd like to see your guys' thoughts on this, but I'm going to tell you right now, 1 through 4 are pretty much like unreplaceable. I can see 10 through 5 being shifted around, possibly with even other stands, but 1 through 4 are pretty much set in stone. Maybe the positioning might be a little iffy. I'm not exactly sure, but Gold Spirit's Requiem is definitely number 1. A reminder that this isn't a stand versus stand thing. This is talking about stand versus a general fictional standpoint, which means that the abilities must be of use when wanting to use these characters against characters outside of the franchise. So, if you like to stand up for JoJo in scenario fights, your top 10 is basically your go-to characters against the rest of fiction. So, do your best.
Jorno, the strongest anime character, baby.
Give me a suggestion. I have some in mind, but those are more based on my opinion.
It's basically the end of the video. Jorno, the strongest anime character, baby. Prove me wrong. Okay, wait. Let me rephrase that. Jorno, Anos, and Rimuru, the strongest anime characters in all of existence. But prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. But I'll see you guys on the next video because this shit got me hyped. I might rewatch JoJo. Here we go, Kev. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.